Okay, today we are doing solving inequalities with adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. I'm actually going to combine the two and do both, mostly because it's very similar to equations, and so I don't really see the purpose of splitting them up necessarily, if that makes sense. Okay, so first of all, if you look up here, what we are going to do is just to remind you that if there's no line underneath, then it's an open circle when graphing. And if there is an equal sign underneath like that, then it's a closed circle when graphing. There's my two circles, open and closed. And we talked about graphing yesterday, but I just want you to get in the habit of, oh, it's equal to underneath, closed circle. Okay, so now when we are solving inequalities, the steps are very similar, if not identical, to solving equations. You have draw your railroad tracks on each side of the inequality sign. And then step 2 is to circle the variable and anything attached to it. In this case, it's just the variable. And then you're going to undo any addition or subtraction. So you're going to do the opposite operation. Opposite operation. Opposites 2p's, operations 1p. I was getting confused. I knew one was 1, one was 2, doesn't matter. Moving on. Okay, so the opposite of minus 6 is to add 6. Or the opposite of a negative 6 is a positive 6. Add 6. That cancels out and gives you an m. And then you have negative 13 plus 6. This is a huge problem I am still seeing. I cannot stress enough. Okay, this is a negative 13 plus 6. This isn't going to make the number bigger. Different signs will always make a number smaller. Okay, so it's going to end up being a negative 7. And then your sign will stay the same. So now you have m is less than negative 7. Okay, and step 4 is to graph. The solution on a number line, and to always include 0. Yes, you need to graph almost every single problem you do today on a number line. Okay, I'm going to have 0, negative 7 is over here. It is an open circle, and the arrow is going, m is less than negative 7, so it's all the numbers less than negative 7. I'm going to use a marker so it's easier to see. All the numbers less than negative 7. Okay, so now I'm going to do these 3 practice problems with you. And if you notice, it is really similar to equations, right? The only thing different is you're graphing now. Okay, railroad track, circle the variable, minus 7, minus 7. Those cancel. X is greater than or equal to, what is 18 minus 7? 11. And now I'm going to have 0 here. I'm going to have 11 over here. It is a closed circle because it has the equal sign underneath. And its numbers greater than 11. Number 2. circle the variable, minus 7. Nothing changes just because it's on the other side. Minus 7. Those cancel and leave you with a g is greater than or equal to 3 minus 7 is going to be negative 4. Now, one thing I would say is I like the variable on the left side. So I'm going to flip that and put my variable over here. But g is greater than or equal to negative 4. I'm always going to flip it because I like my variable on this side. And you always flip it at the end because then you just flip the sign too. And it's the same meaning. Simply because it makes it easier to graph. 0, negative 4. It is a closed circle. And its numbers greater than negative 4. Number 3, railroad track, circle the variable, minus 1/4, you're going to add 1/4. Add 1/4. Those cancel, and P is greater than or equal to 2 1/4. I'm just going to combine them. I could put 9/4. That works too. If you add them in your calculator, it probably will say 9/4. I don't care either way. Because either way, it's going to be a 0. And over here, I'm just going to have 2 1/4. It is a closed circle. And its numbers greater than that. Okay. Now, you have 3 practice problems to do on your own right here. But before you do those, I guess you could do those now. But I'm going to flip over. And now I'm going to do multiplying and dividing. So that's what I meant. Okay, today is a little bit longer because you have 2 sets of notes. Maybe I'll actually pause this video.